It's a big week. And it feels like once we get past the draft, it's dominoes, quick dominoes in succession as we prepare for the return of the league on the 22nd of December.
The craziness of the pandemic and everything going on. It's like we're just going to squeeze off this wild offseason into like 2 weeks and just make it happen.
Yeah.
The draft, free agency, trade. It's craziness, but I can't wait. I'm excited.
No other way would we have it. All right, it's time to play. You know what? Our producers, shout out to the whole squad, come up with the best games. This one is called Gotta Move. All right?
Gotta move.
We've got a list of players who seem to be available to leave their organizations and find new homes for the upcoming season. We're going to start it off. Chris Paul. Kaz, you and I are going to share our ideal destinations. Where do you see CP3 heading?
I see Chris Paul. I know Chris Paul's been rumored for the Phoenix Suns for a while, but I think he goes back to LA. I think the LA Clippers are the best case scenario for CP3. His family still lives out there, still has a home out there, and they need some point guard help. And that is, you can't get any better point guard help than the point god himself, CP3, all right? You put him there with Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, you know what I mean? Maybe you flip Montrezl Harrell, flip a few players that are on expiring contracts to make that Chris Paul trade work. But I think he goes back to the Clippers. I think they make it happen, man. What about you? What you think? Where do you think he goes?
I like that. I'm not mad at you for the Clippers. I've got him going to Phoenix just because what he was able to do in OKC in terms of elevating a team that nobody was talking about. And then when it came down to crunch time, we're like, wait, these guys are good, actually. I can only imagine how he would take Phoenix to the next level. Give me the Phoenix that we saw go undefeated in the bubble. I think Chris Paul brings that to the table.
I'd love to see Devin Booker, Chris Paul backcourt. So I'm not mad at that. I'll watch.
All right, we keep it moving. James Harden, the beard. I'm going quick on this one. I think he stays in Houston. Part of the narrative, even though we've heard about this latest team, other team in New York that he might want to team up with, part of the narrative is that the organization continues to say, we're going to run it back. And Ramona Shelburne hopped on my radio show last night, and she mentioned that part of the conversation first. So I think Houston figures out a way to make this work.
Now, I hear Houston saying they want to run it back, but run it back from what? Who's there? The coach is gone, new GM, Russell Westbrook wants to leave. I believe James Harden is going across the bridge to the Brooklyn Nets, all right? Now, granted, there's only one basketball there, but, you know, it seems like it's going to be very, very interesting to say the least, all right? Like, you got Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant, James Harden. On paper, on 2K, on NBA Live, it looks great, but there's a thing called chemistry that I think we'll need. And with those personalities, a brand new coach, by the way, and a whole new things to work out, I see him going there. I don't see it working out, though. That's just my opinion.
If that happens, I have lots of questions, too. Although D'Antoni, as an assistant, I don't want to talk about it. Moving on. His other teammate who wants out of Houston, Russell Westbrook. I'm bringing Russ right here to the home team. Come on to the Knicks. My favorite part of Russ's game is that he always plays hard. And I always think back to Victor Oladipo, who has given Russ credit for showing him how to be a pro, how to elevate his game. And when Vic left OKC, went to Indiana, or went to Orlando first, he truly emerged.
Yeah. I agree. I think Russell Westbrook comes to the New York Knicks. I feel like Russ is a culture changer. And you got a guy like Tom Thibodeau who, you know, loves him some athletic point guards, loves him some guards that he can craft and create. I'm sure they're going to draft a point guard in this coming NBA draft, and somebody's going to need to learn under the Westbrook tree. In addition to that, I do strongly believe that this isn't something that takes a whole lot to get done, all right? I feel like a lot of people are very wary. They're having flashbacks of trades gone bad in the past, and I don't think this is that different. I feel like the Knicks have a lot of expiring contracts. They got a lot of picks that they haven't used, that they got in the Porzingis trade and the Marcus Morris trade. I think this gets done, and I don't think too many people get hurt in the process, all right? I think Russell Westbrook is a New York Knick in about a week. Let's call it a week.
We would love to see it. All right, rolling right along from Russ. I mentioned him, Victor Oladipo, a guy who learned under Russ. Where you got him heading, Kaz?
I got my Nigerian brother, Victor Oladipo, going where? South Beach, Miami. I think that is a place that they're going to need a scorer. They're going to need extra bodies. I mean, obviously, they took the NBA champions to 6 games. They looked really good. I know Victor Oladipo went on record and saying he doesn't want to leave Indiana and he's fully committed. But have you been to South Beach, brother? Have you been to Miami? Have you seen that team? Have you seen the Heat culture? I feel like Victor Oladipo is a hand-in-glove fit for that squad. And, Goran Dragic is getting older. There's a lot of young, talented guys that are very cheap. And in Miami, he got a little bit of money to play with. So I think Victor Oladipo ends up in Miami. What about you?
I feel like Vic in Miami is Jimmy Light, though. I'm sending him, for that reason, because I want Vic to be the full Vic, the Black Panther suit at All-Star Game Vic. I'm sending him to Milwaukee because Giannis needs some help. As the Twitter meme used to go, he needs some milk. And I think Vic could do that.
Oh, gosh. Yeah, I feel for Giannis because, that Supermax deal is coming, and I don't know if he's going to stay this long, but that Milwaukee front office got to do something. They can't lose him for nothing. They can't say they didn't try. So we'll see how that goes. We will see how that goes.
They're going to have to do something for sure. Okay, so DeMar DeRozan is next on our list. We got 2 to get through. So DeMar DeRozan is one of our last 2.
I think DeMar DeRozan heads back home, heads to L.A., Compton's finest, goes and plays for the Los Angeles Lakers. The Lakers have made no bones about it. They've absolutely made it not a big secret that they want him on the team. The Lakers have already agreed in principle to trade for Dennis Schroeder. So there's a lot of help over there. There's a lot of help on the way for LeBron and AD. Also, AD did opt out of his deal yesterday. So there's a little bit of money to play with over there. Maybe AD talked to DeRozan and said, hey, I'll take this, you take this. Let's go and run it back into LA. You come back to your hometown. And we need a third scorer. We're probably going to get rid of Kuzma. Danny Green's gone. We need a wing. We need a 3-and-D wing, and you're better than that. So I think DeRozan ends up a Laker.
I would like to see that for DeMar. I think he's someone who's been open about mental health struggles and all that good stuff. So maybe being home helps him. But I see a little bit of a monkey wrench in the program, and I'm putting the Grizzlies in the mix. Ooh. A very young squad that we loved, lots of energy, could use a little bit of veteran leadership that also, to your point, is still 3-and-D. Not old veteran, like still get it done veteran, but just let me get y'all young fellas. I got you.
I'd love to see, not for nothing, I do want to see Ja Morant with some help though, man. That kid is special. Special with an A at the end of it, all right? So I'd love to see him with an all-star tag team partner down in Memphis. But
all right, so last but not least, and this one's kind of interesting to me, Drew Holiday, expiring deal with the Pelicans. Let me get my teams together. This is a guy to me that I think is so underrated in the league, and I loved this year when the awards came out, and there were endless clips of NBA players saying that he should have been all defensive team, all defensive first team, right? I put Drew in Miami, Kaz. Okay. Because I just feel like his grit and grind goes well with that Miami culture. I can see him and Jimmy putting the straps on guards in the backcourt, causing havoc at points. So I said Miami. To your point, Goran Dragic getting a little older. Terrific point guard. Drew's giving you 6.5 assists per game and that good strap-up defense.
Yeah, Drew Holiday's been criminally underrated for a number of years now. And I guess we're going to see just how much he's beloved around the league during this offseason. So I think he's going to end up in Milwaukee. You were just talking about, Giannis needing some help, needing some people to kind of back him up. And Drew Holiday checks every box. He's a great defender, great playmaker, could create his own shot, bigger dude than he seems to be. I feel like Drew Holiday is a guy that can absolutely help the Milwaukee Bucks in the future. Now, does he help get him over the hump in the Eastern Conference? I don't know. But I do think it's a better fit over there than in New Orleans.